As Valentine's Day approached, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex chose intimacy over spectacle, warmth over noise, and authenticity over performance. On Friday, February 13th, Meghan Sussex and Prince Harry were spotted enjoying a romantic pre-Valentine's dinner at one of their favourite spots, Funke, in Beverly Hills. The outing, captured in photos obtained exclusively by People, showed a couple relaxed, connected, and very much in sync. And while some royal watchers obsess over palace politics, Harry and Meghan continue to focus on what truly matters: love, family, and shared purpose. A romantic evening at Funke isn't just any restaurant. It's an upscale Italian dining destination helmed by celebrated chef Funke. Known for handmade pasta and a devotion to traditional Italian culinary techniques, the restaurant has quickly become one of Los Angeles' most coveted reservations. For Meghan and Harry, however, it's more than a hotspot. It's a place filled with happy memories. Meghan previously celebrated her 44th birthday at Funke in August, later posting a glowing tribute to the experience on Instagram. She described the meal as "in the top 5 meals of my life," praising Chef Funke and his team for their culinary mastery. That kind of endorsement doesn't come lightly, and it speaks to Meghan's appreciation for craftsmanship and creativity values she and Harry consistently uplift in the ventures they support. On this recent evening, the couple opted for casual elegance. Meghan wore a brown jacket paired with black pants, understated, effortless, chic. Harry complimented her look in a black jacket and jeans, relaxed but polished. There was no over-the-top display, no need for theatrics, just two people who clearly enjoy each other's company. And that's the thing about Harry and Meghan: when they step out, they look grounded, present, at ease. There's a sense that they're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Love that withstands distance. Last year's Valentine's Day looked a little different for the Sussexes. At the time, Prince Harry was in Canada for the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler, an event he founded that has transformed the lives of wounded, injured and sick service personnel and veterans around the world. Meghan had travelled with him to help kick off the Games, but returned home to California after several days to care for their children. Prince Archie, now 6, and Princess Lilibet, 4. That temporary separation didn't dampen the love. In fact, it amplified it. Meghan took to Instagram with a heartfelt black and white photo of her and Harry kissing. In the caption, she wrote about being back home, taking care of our babies while missing her Valentine as he continued his meaningful work. She praised him not just as a husband, but as a change-maker, someone changing lives and reminding all of us of the power of healing and resilience through these incredible veterans and their families. That's not just romantic language. That's admiration rooted in purpose. Meghan ended her message with a line that felt both playful and deeply intimate. "My love, I will eat burgers and fries and fish and chips with you forever. Thank you for you." She added the hashtag #ChandrijaLoveWins, a powerful throwback to her 2018 wedding speech, and signed it simply, "As ever, M." That signature, "As ever," would later become the name of her lifestyle brand, a subtle and beautiful Easter egg for those paying attention. From first date to forever. To understand the significance of moments like this dinner at Funke, we have to go back to the beginning. Harry and Meghan met in the summer of 2016 through a mutual friend. It wasn't a grand royal introduction. It wasn't a state banquet. It was a blind date. And from that first meeting, something clicked. At the time, Harry was based in the United Kingdom, carrying the weight of royal expectations. Meghan was living in Toronto, starring in the legal drama Suits. Their relationship began long-distance flights across the Atlantic, secret visits, quiet weekends away from the press. But love finds a way. In November 2017, the couple announced their engagement. Harry proposed with a ring that carried profound meaning, featuring 2 diamonds from the personal collection of his late mother, Princess Diana. It was a tribute, a connection across generations, a symbol of continuity and devotion. Their wedding in May 2018 at St. George's Chapel was watched by millions around the world. It was joyful, modern and inclusive. Meghan's presence represented change, a blending of cultures, a widening of what royal tradition could look like. And when Queen Elizabeth II bestowed upon them the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. Building a life on their own terms. Of course, the years that followed were anything but simple. The pressures of royal life intensified. Media scrutiny reached relentless levels, and eventually Harry and Meghan made the bold decision to step back from senior royal duties in 2020. That move was criticized by some, misunderstood by others, but for them it was about survival and autonomy. It was about protecting their mental health and creating a stable environment for their growing family. Since relocating to California, the Sussexes have built a life rooted in service and storytelling. Through the Archewell Foundation, media projects and advocacy work, they've continued to champion issues close to their hearts: veterans' welfare, online safety, women's empowerment, and mental health awareness. Moments like a quiet dinner in Beverly Hills might seem small in comparison to global initiatives, but they matter. They show balance. They show that behind the headlines are 2 people navigating marriage, parenthood, and purpose. Parenting. First, one of the most striking aspects of Meghan's Valentine's message last year was her emphasis on being back home, taking care of our babies. It was a reminder that despite their public roles, Harry and Meghan are deeply hands-on parents. They shared snippets of a Valentine's Day theme breakfast with Archie and Lilibet, simple, sweet traditions that many families can relate to. Heart-shaped treats, laughter in the kitchen, the normalcy that every child deserves. For Harry, fatherhood has been transformative. He has often spoken about wanting to break generational cycles of pain and to raise his children with openness and emotional literacy. For Meghan, motherhood is clearly central to her identity: protective, nurturing, fiercely loving. Their ability to prioritize family, even amid international commitments like the Invictus Games, speaks volumes about their values. The power of Invictus. We cannot talk about Prince Harry without acknowledging the monumental impact of the Invictus Games. Founded in 2014, the Games have become a global symbol of resilience and recovery for wounded veterans. The Vancouver Whistler edition carried special meaning, not just as a sporting event, but as a reminder of Harry's enduring dedication to the military community. Meghan's public pride in her husband during that time wasn't performative. It reflected years of witnessing his commitment firsthand. When she wrote that he was changing lives, it wasn't hyperbole. For countless veterans and their families, Invictus has provided healing, camaraderie, and renewed purpose. And while some critics attempt to diminish Harry's contributions, the athletes and families who participate in Invictus know the truth. A love that evolves. What stands out most about the Sussexes is how their relationship continues to evolve. They've weathered storms, public criticism, institutional resistance, family tensions, and yet they remain united. That unity was visible in their relaxed body language at Funke. It was evident in Meghan's affectionate Valentine's message. It's present in the way they speak about each other in interviews, not as obligations, but as partners. They are not frozen in time as the fairy tale couple from 2018. They've grown, they've adapted, they've carved out space for themselves in a world that once tried to confine them. And perhaps that's why a simple dinner date resonates so strongly. It represents normalcy reclaimed. The meaning behind As Ever. When Meghan signed her Valentine's post As Ever M, it felt poetic, loyal, enduring. The phrase suggests continuity, a love that remains steady despite changing circumstances. It later became the name of her lifestyle brand, signalling authenticity and intention. As Ever implies consistency of heart. It says, I am still me, we are still us. In a media landscape that often seeks to redefine or distort them, that quiet assertion is powerful. Looking ahead. As the Sussexes move further into 2026 and beyond, their story continues to unfold on their own terms. There will always be critics, there will always be speculation, but there will also be moments like this, a shared meal, a casual outfit, a soft glance across a table. Love doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply shows up. At Funke in Beverly Hills, Meghan and Harry weren't performing for the world. They were just being themselves, partners, parents, friends. And maybe that's the most radical thing of all. In choosing joy, in choosing each other, in choosing a life defined not by protocol, but by purpose, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex continue to demonstrate that stepping away from the old script allowed them to write a better one. From a blind date in 2016 to a wedding at Windsor, from royal duty to California sunsets, from long-distance love to shared Valentine's dinners, their journey has been anything but ordinary. Yet at its core, it's beautifully simple. Two people, one love story, still going strong. And as ever, that love wins.